What's up, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Chig coming at you with another review video. Today we're going to be talking about a port of a mobile game that recently came over to the Switch, Kingdom Rush Frontiers. I heard a lot of good things about this one when it was on the Play Store, and I can confirm, this one's pretty great. This game really surprised me. Coming from mobile, it's a lot better than I had expected. I expected it to be riddled with microtransactions, however it appears that everything in the game can be unlocked by, well, playing the game. The game starts you out just as you would expect. A small tutorial, click this spot, pick a unit, and build, but it gets way out of hand really fast. From the beginning of this game, it's a nail-biter. Typically when you first boot up a tower defense game, the first few levels are really linear and don't have a lot of branching paths, but in Kingdom Rush Frontiers, that is not the case. From the very first map you encounter, there's a variety of baddies and branching paths to keep you on your toes. The storytelling in this game gave me a good laugh. The game has a pretty interesting sense of humor, and it's really not afraid to make fun of itself. Get it? Make pun? The plot is described throughout the game in comic strips, and the battle animations include the boom, bang, pow you've come accustomed to seeing in comic books. The gameplay on this one isn't really any different than any other tower defense game you've ever played, aside from a few pretty unique things. From the beginning of this game, you get some, well, let's call them skills, that can help you along your way that you can level up, but we'll talk about that later. One of the skills summons a few little dudes at your cursor that fight for you, but the awesome one rains the fires of heck down upon your enemies. This game does a pretty decent job of giving you enough time between waves and before the first wave starts. I was never in a situation where I felt like I didn't have enough time, however there were a few times that I felt a little hectic, which is pretty much a good thing. One of the unique aspects of Kingdom Rush Frontiers is the heroes. You unlock the heroes throughout the game and you get to level them up, increasing their unique skills and allowing you to play the game how you want. The heroes can be controlled throughout the waves by using the left bumper, and they help in various ways. With a total of 16 unique heroes, you'll likely be able to find one that fits your personality without much fuss. There are also skill trees for each of the units as well as the activated abilities, allowing you to further customize your playstyle if you prefer one unit over another. The skills range anywhere from making your melee troops more resilient and stronger to making your archers shoot extra projectiles. There are definitely a lot of interesting things to unlock. One of the things that I noticed right away is that the game throws several different types of enemies at you, and then keeps bringing different varieties. You go from the basic units to giants with axes that cut their own path through the forest and create a new branch for you to defend. The last thing that I'd like to touch on before we move on is the difficulty of Kingdom Rush Frontiers. I played on casual, and really still didn't complete the game all the way through. It can be brutal at times, and well, I'm not the best at strategy games. The gameplay scores an 18 out of 25. The visuals are pretty much what you would expect from a tower defense game. Everything is hand-drawn and really charming. Each character is unique and easy to identify while they are moving throughout the maps. In combat, each enemy type and unit has its own animations, ranging from the swing and thud of a sword, which by the way sometimes actually says thud. Hooray for comic book humor. To the spells slowly making their way to enemies before a poof of magical animation. One gripe I have with the animations is the way the big guys cut through the trees. I think they could have done a little better job of depicting them making the new path. As it currently stands, they swing their axe once and a huge chunk of path appears. I commend the developers for a wide range of backgrounds and locales. In the first hour of gameplay I fought in a forest, on a beach with a pirate ship, and in a desert full of wasps. They definitely put the time into giving some great map diversity, and each one is hand-drawn and prettier than the last. For me, the visuals score a 19 out of 25. The audio of Kingdom Rush Frontiers is about what you would expect from this type of game. There's very little voice acting, and there's the occasional grunt from the characters. The battle sounds are pretty decent though. The occasional clang of the sword and an arrow finding its way in the enemy makes some very satisfying battles. The music in the overworld is gentle and pretty easy on the ears, however the music inside the maps is a little more frantic and helps set the tone for the battles. With adjustable sound controls, it's pretty easy to find a good mix of battle sounds and music to fit anyone's taste. Each map has its own track and it definitely kept the music from getting repetitive for me. Since I have to pick one aspect for each game to be my least favorite, this is it. There isn't really enough going on for my taste. I feel as though some of the enemies could have had better audio cues. However, everything else is great. Audio scores a 16 out of 25. Now we're off to my favorite part of the video, the value. The value of a game is subjective. However, I feel that Kingdom Rush Frontiers offers some great bang for your buck. Coming in at $14.99 on the eShop, this game offers a lot to play. Your mileage may vary depending if you just want to play through once or you want to unlock everything through the challenges and different difficulties. If you play through your way through the main story, you're looking at 12 to 16 hours of gameplay. However, if you're trying to get every achievement in the game, you're likely to see 70 or more hours of frustratingly fun ridiculousness from Kingdom Rush Frontiers. The value for this one scores a 20 out of 25, giving Kingdom Rush Frontiers an overall score of 73%. If you're looking for a game that's easy to pick up and play and has a great learning and difficulty curve, or if you're just a fan of tower defense games in general, I would 100% recommend picking this one up, folks. I'm a big fan of the tower defense genre, and I can say without a doubt that Kingdom Rush Frontiers gets the Chig seal of approval.